Today, Mommy is reading this vintage Christmas book. I love vintage Christmas books, especially children's vintage Christmas books. I have a collection of them, and I always find them used, of course. But this one right here, this is Walt Disney's Santa's Toy Shop. It is so special to me because when I was a little girl, we had this book. And I used to look at this book when I was really little, and I loved it. I especially loved those little tiny elves. I can't tell you how much I love them. So my book was actually blue. So I think it was a newer version of this book. And let's see what year this particular book was published, if we can find it. So it's illustrated by the Walt Disney Studio and adapted by L. Dempster. The year. Let's see. Do we see a year anywhere? It says it's printed in the USA, but for some reason I am not finding a particular year. But look, it says from Mrs. Clegg, so it probably was a teacher somebody had, and that looks like her name right there. Very cute. But let's get into the book. Way up north in the land of ice and snow stands a cozy little house. And beside the front door hangs a neat little sign. S. Claus, says the sign, because that is who lives there. Santa Claus. Mrs. Santa Claus lives there too, of course. She keeps house for Santa Claus and for all the elves who work in Santa's toy shop. And what a busy place that toy shop is. Okay, so I used to absolutely adore this, that the little elf was helping her with the cookies. And then look at the little bitty elves. They're so cute. So in the doll department and the train department and the game and building set department, and dozens of departments up and down the halls. Happy little Christmas elves are busy all year long making and trying out the toys. Oh, everyone is busy in Santa's toy shop, but Santa Claus is busiest of all. He shows the doll makers how to paint on smiles. "I'll take a day off soon," says Santa Claus, "and play. But letters keep coming from boys and girls wanting talking dolls and cowboy boots, rocking horses, and fireman suits. I'm just too busy," Santa Claus sometimes says. "I never have time to play with the toys." And I used to love that the elves were dumping out all the letters at his feet. And most of those children have been so good, Santa has to do his best to please them. So the days whiz by in Santa's toy shop. And soon it is Christmas Eve again. And Santa Claus has still not played with a single toy. "Oh, jumping jacks," says Santa Claus last Christmas Eve as Mrs. Claus buttoned up his warm red coat. "Now I have to give all these toys away, and I never will get to try any out." And he almost scowled. But Mrs. Claus whispered something into Santa's ear, and he left the house chuckling to himself. "Wonderful idea," the reindeer heard him say as they waited at the door hitched to the heaped-up sleigh. Then all night long around the world they flew, and Santa dropped down chimneys with his load of toys, or slipped indoors or windows where the chimneys didn't fit. Look at the little elf up here. So cute. I absolutely love this part because the snow looked pink. I thought that was so cute. And I love that the Santa was standing on this stool. Like, this is one of my favorite pages from childhood. The load grew lighter in the sleigh as they went, and at last Santa Claus was slipping down the chimney into the very last house on his list. There he found a Christmas tree all set up, and he put the final touches on it and lit all the lights. He found a plate of cookies and a glass of milk with a note that said, "For dear Santa Claus." So he sat himself down and had a bite of lunch. And I used to absolutely love this page most of all because you had Santa sitting there resting, the little elf eating a cookie with him, and the baby of the house put a diaper up as a stocking. I thought that was so cute. Then he unpacked the toys as he always does, but he did not hustle right away. Not this time. No. He set up the new electric train and sent it speeding around the track and through the tunnel. He sent the model airplane spinning around the Christmas tree, and he built a whole village with Christmas blocks. Another page I loved, that he was playing with the toys. I thought that was so cute. When Santa had tried every Christmas toy, back home he flew in his magical sleigh to Mrs. Santa Claus. "Never have I had such fun," Santa told Mrs. Santa Claus. "I did as you suggested and stopped at the last house." And he whispered the children's names in her ear. Do you think he might pick your house to stop at this year? Oh, the end. And thank you to everyone who stayed for the reading of Walt Disney's Santa's Toy Shop, my favorite children's book as a child.